Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Ones Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you about somebody who has an interesting offer, or it's almost like it's a proposal without it being super romantic. I don't know if this is necessarily somebody you've already been friends with, or maybe it's your neighbor, but we've got the Nine of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles. Somebody who says, if we keep doing this individually, if you pay your way and I pay my way, it's more expensive. But maybe we could avoid some, difficulty financially if we like threw in together. My first analogy that comes to mind is like combining accounts, right? Like if you buy internet, they're going to try to sell you the cell phone plan to go along with it because it's cheaper if you combine them, right? But this feels to me like friendship. We've got the Two of Cups. Remember, that's not always romantic. Sometimes that's platonic love. For some of you, this could even be, a cousin, a sibling, or, a former coworker. But I feel like we've got people identifying an opportunity for it to be less expensive situation or for it to be beneficial. For some, this could be, I homeschool my kids, you homeschool your kids. What if we have like an exchange program? You can take care of like the liberal arts and I can take care of like math and science. We've got something here about like reciprocity. I feel like together we would be stronger. We would be able to tackle everything we need, or we would have more resources. So it's kind of like a pitch, right? I think for very few of you, there could be some sort of romantic energy here. But for the majority of you with those pentacles, I really feel like it's more about stability, security, and being strategic. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of Winchenta. Oh, just a little bit more. Okay, there we go. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. I was able to hang out at the park in the sun, which was really nice because it got pretty warm today, actually. If you are interested, I launched my membership program today. I'm so excited. There's 3 tiers, $3.99, $7.99, and $24.99. It just depends on what level you want, but I appreciate whatever support works for you, even if it's just liking and subscribing. I appreciate that too. If you want a personal reading, my email address is wickedonestarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box below if I talk too fast for you. Hello, how's it going, Robert? I hope you're doing well. What's up, Co-Create? Let me know if you want me to use your real name. I don't call people out like that unless they let me know. Um, it's cloudy. Oh, well, hopefully that changes soon. Good. All right. So we're talking about some sort of partnership. I feel like the Masonic Tarot is a good one to go for. In this particular deck, keep in mind that mallets are associated with earth energy. So those would be the pentacles. And gold, which looks suspiciously like pentacles, is actually associated with the fire signs because it is made in fire. So the gold pieces would be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. All right, so we've got 4 of Swords. 5 of Cups in the reverse, and the Emperor. This 4 of Swords makes me feel like there's somebody who wants to kind of fortify, make a situation stronger. If I feel like there's problems in terms of security, or maybe there's been like recent burglaries, maybe I would consider how my locks work for me or the security on my windows. We've got somebody here who's considering all the specifics, the details that could prevent them from feeling regret. So proactive protection, basically. And it's this emperor, somebody who feels like they have a responsibility or an obligation to take care of at least one other person, but probably more than that. Hello, Jasmina. How are you doing? Hello, Corey. Hello, Aqua Beauty. How's it going? What else do we have? Oh, also just quick additional thing about the memberships. I was really excited to do a free personal reading giveaway with the memberships, but that is literally against the rules for YouTube. I didn't know that. I'm sorry. So I'm going to find another way to do drawings that do not break YouTube's rules because I do like doing that for you all. And so I found another option to add into the memberships. So I'm sorry. Hello, Upper Echelon. How are you doing? So we've got the Knight of Chalices, which would be the Knight of Cups, and the Two of Swords in the reverse. And the Wheel of Fortune. This is somebody who knows about chances, odds, statistics. I haven't watched a lot of it, but I did watch a few episodes of, I think it's called The Tracker. I don't know the actor's name. I'm really bad at that sometimes. He quotes his dad, or he learned a lot from his dad, who was kind of like an off-grid type, taught them how to hunt, build, all of that stuff. But part of what the tracker does when he finds himself in kind of precarious situations is he calculates the odds of survival or getting out of this, right? This is somebody who I feel is doing that thing. They're looking at the situation, being really honest with themselves about what's going on. And they're saying, our odds are better if we work together. We don't need to be like trying to accomplish the same thing. If that person over there were to like join up with us, we would be stronger. And I think they're right. I think this is somebody who's very methodical or intelligent. I think they really do their research. Hello, Danny. Hello, Illuminati. How are we doing? What else do we have? Knight of Swords. Ten of Swords in the reverse, and the Seven of Pentacles. Sorry, Seven of Gold. I did it myself. So that would be like the Seven of Wands in the reverse. Man, there's fast-moving energy that is unpredictable or chaotic. That's why we have somebody who feels like they have to like batten down the hatches. Is that I think that's the term. You know, like I'm picturing that scene. Well, I guess there's a couple of them in Twister where they know that that's a real big storm headed their way and they have to get into the storm cellar. It's chaotic. You can't really think straight because there's so much going on, right? This is somebody saying, I know things are going to get a little bit crazier. We need to think about it right now. What is our best, like, possible route forward? Page of Chalices or Page of Cups in the reverse. The King of Gold or the King of Wands. And the Nine of Mallets in the reverse. Yeah. If it's every man for themselves, we'll all lose. If we band together, we'll be stronger. If we work together, we can accomplish what we need to. We can protect ourselves from whatever this is, or we can avoid a loss. I'm trying not to reference 1923 because it just came out and I don't want to ruin anything for anyone. But if you've seen that show, or really anything to do with Yellowstone, they've done a couple of those where people are protecting their property, right? This is giving that, or like protecting their family kind of energy. very much so like community leader or leader of family or, you know, fiercely protective mama bear. We've got somebody who's like, I know what we need to do. This is going to make things as like painless as we could possibly do it. So let's go. Five of Wands in the reverse. Hierophant in the reverse and the Nine of Wands. So it's like avoiding a battle or preparing yourself before an attack so well that you almost like eliminate actual dire consequences, right? This is somebody who I think is taking an unconventional approach. They're doing something in anticipation. And it's like some people think that they're crazy. Like, oh, it's not going to get that bad. What are you talking about? Which is almost a little biblical, actually. But our emperor, whoever this is, they're like not playing around. I know this could escalate. I know things could get bad. I want to make sure my family or my friends or, you know, the people I care about, I want to make sure that we're okay. So here's what we need to do. Hello, speeding disposition. How are we doing today? Hello, Luis. What's up, Lemonade? Hello, Matt. How you doing? That's so funny because when I was setting up the memberships, it offered as one of the options for like a perk, like members only pictures. And I was like, maybe. So I guess that's a thing that people do. I kind of detest taking selfies, but nature pics, got you. Yeah, no, I really want to make sure that there's value. If, you know, you're a part of the membership, I want you to make sure that that's something that makes you feel like you're more included, that you're in a collective. I want there to be value there for you, but I'm excited. I'm really excited to do some live streams where I feel like I don't have to not swear. I love you, Mom, but I'm going to leave that to the regular live streams and the members only. Just, you know, let me tell some of those jokes. Hello, Third Eye. How's it going? Moon in the reverse, Magician, and the Ten of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, I think we've got somebody who reads people really well or understands the situation. They feel pretty compelled to do what they can to help others because they don't want people to, you know, lose what's important to them or go through difficult times. This would be like, you know, I went to church a lot as a child. Like I maybe missed like 2 Sundays. And the community that you find in a church is, I think, a big part of the reason that people enjoy going to church. And I loved, I mean, it was like a big family, right? Sunday school, went on trips, did the like Wednesday, like Lent dinners. This is somebody who has that sense of community. It doesn't have to be a church. It doesn't have to be a family, but this is like gathering everyone up saying like, nobody's going to hurt you. I got you. So very focused on like service to others or making sure that those who may not see the storm coming still get into the storm cellar. Page of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, and the Three of Swords. Yeah. The choice is because, you know, there's some factor changing or there's somebody here who is maybe a little unreliable or Maybe for some of you, this is a pretty serious storm, but we've got somebody who says we can work together and this will avoid that heartache or at least minimize it, right? Mutual aid comes to mind, just like looking out for others, right? So we have the Queen of Wands. This is the person who is probably not to be trusted because it's clarifying the moon in the reverse. Somebody who has not great intentions. We've got the Four of Cups and the Ace of Cups in the reverse. This is somebody who's very mad, somebody who feels rejected or somebody who feels threatened. It feels like they want to attack somebody. This could be, spreading malicious gossip or literally taking it too far, right? Throwing hands. But it does seem like this Emperor knows already that there's an issue here and that they need to get to the storm cellar. So they see Storm Queen of Wands coming. This could be a jilted lover. This could be somebody who feels like entitled in some way or feels like they've been betrayed by somebody in this community. Two of Wands in the reverse, Knight of Wands in the reverse, Six of Cups. Yeah, this is somebody who has a concern for people that are younger. So this Emperor could be looking out for their family, right? Their children, or concerned about somebody else who may have children. They want to make sure that those children are okay. Like, it's like, who can I help? Like, let's go, because things are going to strike suddenly. Things are going to be chaotic. So it's like they want to be that patient, calm energy to keep people focused on what needs to happen or what, they need to work on to make sure that they minimize this Three of Swords. They don't want people to get hurt. Don't want people to, get stranded or lose anything. Temperance in the reverse. This is somebody who feels like they don't belong or feels like they were not accepted or they were rejected. Emperor in the reverse, Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. For some of you, this is a person who is mad at a business owner because they lost their job, or mad because they did not get hired, mad because somebody didn't invest in a relationship. But this Queen of Wands is the person who is causing some chaos that the Emperor is hoping to kind of like protect against. This is the Fairy Lenormand. What else do we have? What else do we have? Number 3, the Ship. Number 31, the Sun. Yeah, I think because we have somebody who has the ability to understand the reality, somebody who does expect this Queen of Wands to lose their temper. It's like they're rushing people to get on this boat, get out of town, or don't stay here. Let's make sure you don't have to watch the argument between us, right? Like earmuffs. Number 32, the Moon. And number 20, the Garden. This Feels like somebody's hiding a whole town. Or a community. I mean, the garden talks about a community, and I've already been saying it feels like it's more than one family, or it feels like it's, whoever I can help, let's go. Hop in the train, whatever it is. This Emperor wants to assist because this Queen of Wands is I think probably has a fiery temper or has an issue in terms of understanding, compassion. Yeah. So maybe the Emperor is one of the few people that can kind of deal with this Queen of Wands. This is the Wild Reflections Tarot. What else do we have? Three of Swords. The Hermit in the reverse. And the Two of Wands. So this is punching in those directions, feeling like you've arrived where you want to be as the Queen of Wands, looking around, ready to take your anger out on somebody and realizing there's no one there. I feel like the Hermit in the reverse is someone feeling very alone, feeling like they wanted to take out their anger on somebody, but they can't. Because I feel like with the Two of Wands, we've got people that were prepared or had planned to leave. Like, I don't want to be there when you're, angry or looking to insult somebody. Knight of Cups in the reverse. Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. Eight of Cups in the reverse, and the Page of Swords in the reverse. We definitely have somebody who's got some frustrations, some anger. They feel like they've taken a loss that was unfair. I do feel like for several of you, this could be somebody who feels like they've lost their job security or things are not fair in their job situation. And I feel like it's somebody coming back around. They got something they want to say. It could be somebody who's been rejected in a romantic situation or feels like, a little bit of exclusion from a community. But this is the one who's been unreasonable. It's not black and white. I'm sure there are things that have happened that the Queen of Wands feels was unfair. But I do feel that the Emperor is not looking to try to make somebody feel small. They're trying to protect people. Knight of Pentacles. Nine of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, this is somebody traveling to a destination with the specific intent of, I'm going to give somebody a piece of my mind, or I'm going to ruin their day. This is very petty, vengeful. I'm very mad. Hierophant. Four of Pentacles. I do think the Hierophant would be our Emperor. This is the person who's looking to protect people they feel they have an obligation to. That's why we've got the Four of Pentacles. It's like he's protecting those sunflowers. This is somebody who knows how to use their intuition. They felt like something would be, maybe a little bit challenging here. I do feel like they could be just a little bit psychic. So I feel like they're able to talk this person down or help the situation. Deter the Queen of Wands. Because we have the Six of Swords in the reverse. It's like whatever path they were on, this Emperor is like, hold on, let's just talk. I'm sure we can figure this out. We don't need things to escalate. We don't need things to be, out of control. Let's talk, and you and me, we can work out some sort of a solution here. Do you feel like this person's very respectful? And that's a big part of why things go a little bit better than maybe they expect. Hey, Voyager, how are you doing? That's sweet. What else do we have? Snack, obsession, physical attraction, sex appeal, sneaky link. So there could have been some workplace affair. There could have been somebody who was harassing. We have this heart-to-heart conversation, deep conversations, intimate discussions, blunt and honest. And I feel like this happens between the Queen of Wands and the Emperor or the Hierophant. Hey, it's not worth it to lose your cool over this situation. Let's just talk through what's really going on. And I feel like they leverage time to their advantage. If I get you to like kind of calm down a little bit, we can avoid some chaos. Spiritually woke, self-awareness, cutting through illusions, and detaching from ego. Wine and dine, courtship, consistently dating, romance and passion, and fed up over it, not having it, frustrated. Yeah, there's somebody here whose emotions got the best of them. I do think we might have had some sort of flirtation or passionate encounter that had caused drama, probably in a workplace for the majority of you. For others of you, this could be like a bowling league. But there's some drama because there was some boots. They were knacking, And I do think that we have somebody losing their temper because they might have felt like things did not go the way they wanted to, or maybe they feel like someone's ignoring them. And the only way that they can find that person is if they go to that bowling alley, because I know you're going to be there every Thursday night. Don't do that. Talk to people like normally. You don't need to like hunt them down. Just saying. That's my opinion. You live your life, but no, thank you. This is the gold foil tarot. What else do we have? Like, if you have something that's really important that you have to say to somebody and it's like regarding a legal matter, there are avenues for that. But if you really got to talk to somebody who is doing everything in their power to not talk to you, then I would go ahead and say that it's probably good to, law of acceptance that, right? If it's supposed to come back together, it will. Or at the right time, we can have that conversation. But I think this Queen of Wands is a little heated, a little emotional, because they feel like somebody tricked them. They're offended because of something to do with their job or because of a workplace affair. Four of Wands in the reverse is instability or possibly somebody who's mad because things didn't progress to the next level. Six of Swords in the reverse, Ten of Cups in the reverse, and Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. I think there's hurt feelings or a sense of rejection. Someone feels they don't belong or they have been rejected. With this 10 of Cups in the reverse, that could be like exclusion energy, right? Like, oh, you're all best friends. You never like invite me to have lunch with you. Or it can be, I thought we were falling in love, but it looks like for you, it was just like, a Tuesday. Difference of opinion across the way, right? So with the Wheel of Fortune, change was what really upset this Queen of Wands. They were enjoying whatever was going on, and then it ended. 8 of Wands. They want answers. Whoever this Queen of Wands is, remember, you don't have to be too concerned with that gender, right? That's just energy that I'm reading. We do have the Queen of Swords in the reverse. So there's a lot of anger. That could be why a little bit of time is recommended. If this Queen of Wands is able to calm down, they might get more of the answers that they're looking for. 9 of Pentacles in the reverse is clarifying the 6 of Swords in the reverse. Things go better for them if they take the advice of this Emperor, but it might be a little bit of a challenge for this Queen of Wands to kind of like step that back. What's up, Johnny? How are you doing? Hello, Angelo. Is that, or no, sorry, Angels of the New Earth. How are you doing? I hope you're having a good day. We've got Judgment in the reverse and the 3 of Swords in the reverse. So I think this is somebody stopping the Queen of Wands before something crazy happens, and after they had told people to maybe, get to a safe place. They're trying to make sure that this Queen of Wands doesn't make matters worse. The Emperor's like, hey, what can we do to address this now? We don't need it to be a bunch of drama. We don't need it to, escalate. Let's just talk about it now. Me and you. This is the Path of Shadows. We've got Gargoyle and Overthinking. In stone I'm carved, left alone in the cold, always watching over, protecting stories untold. This is our Emperor energy. They have a good understanding of what's going on. That's why they knew things were going to hit the fan. Overthinking. Each thought a labyrinth. Endless, obscure. There is no peace amidst this self-imposed torture. Our Queen of Wands or Queen of Swords in the reverse is dealing with a lot of strong emotions right now and overthinking or overanalyzing. And this Emperor wanted to take the time to have a conversation and say, let's just breathe. Let's think about things. And remember, all is not lost. We can find a resolution. We can figure this out. I do think that they're being genuine and respectful towards this Queen of Wands, while also, of course, wanting to make sure the other folks in the situation are cool. No issues, right? This is the Gilded Reverie. What else do we have? Number 4, the House, and number 13, the Child. So this is why we have someone being protective. The Emperor feels responsible for the child energies. And now this doesn't actually have to be children. This could be, these are my employees. I feel responsible for them. This could also be, I want to make sure that nothing in terms of like damage happens to my property because I'm going to will it to my children. There's something here about like for the long term, we don't want there to be issues. So let's see what we can accomplish just by talking things through instead of things getting out of hand. So the Emperor has this kind of soothing energy that helps the Queen of Wands, I think, calm down a bit and think more long term and let go of some of that anger. Hello, Elise. How are you doing? What else do we have? Just going to say no, like, personal information, please, in my live chat. You haven't done it yet, but I'm watching you. We've got the moon again, number 32, and the wishing well, number 41. I think there's a negotiation with the Emperor basically telling the Queen of Wands, you might think right now that everything is over, that you have lost what you wanted, or that things aren't going your way. But I'm going to tell you right now, I can get you on the right track, or we can put together a plan where you still get what you want, where you're still happy. So it, I think, helps this Queen of Wands calm down and reassess the situation. This is the Voyage of the Soul. What else do we have? Limitless, expand, spread, higher, open-minded, and wishes. I think the Emperor is talking to the Queen of Wands saying, look, there's still a way for you to get what you want. We don't need to be like despondent or upset or angry. There's another direction you could go. Joanna, I miss you. How are you doing, sweetheart? This is, I think, somebody trying to make sure that this Queen of Wands still has a sense of hope and direction, and realizing that what they may have thought was a dead end is just, an on-ramp to a highway. Just go in a different direction, So we've got compassion, empathy, forgiveness, holding space, and listen. The Emperor shows kindness to the Queen of Wands when the Queen of Wands has maybe not had a lot of that going on in their situation. For some of you, this could be like a teacher or professor. But this is somebody who's saying, look, this is what we're going to do. We'll figure this out. You don't have to, assume that you can't make this work. So obviously it's going to help the Queen of Wands at least calm down a little bit. We've got create, art, poetry, music, dance, expression, and color. This Queen of Wands is very passionate. Could be very artistic. Spirits, the other side, souls, veil, mediumship, and contact. I think there's going to be some intuitive messages that the Queen of Wands receives, and it may align with the message or the conversation that they have with this Emperor, helping the Queen of Wands to understand if this didn't work out, something else will. Whether that's about a relationship or a job situation or a living situation. It's like this Emperor was supposed to be there for the Queen of Wands at this moment to help them and make sure they don't lose hope. I'm glad to hear that. Hello, Dwayne. How are you doing? Hello, Shin. All right. So for the rest of the day, I'm hoping to get one more live stream, and then I've already got shorts recorded for you all. But then I was going to record my first membership only one. Because because it's a smaller collective right now, I'm going to pre-record it. But at some point, those are going to be live streams. I just want to make sure that there's some people there. Hello, Khalil. How are you doing? Thank you for the likes and the subscribes. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And I hope to see you on the next reading. Toodles.